Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Friday, November 18th, 2022. I am Timothy Jaikran. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines, duty-free concessions, UG scholarships for teachers, says Minister Manikchan. CPCE trainees to get in-service salaries from January. President Ali announces 8% retroactive salary increase for public servants. Child forced out of school after allegedly being beaten by teacher. Be ready to capitalize on opportunities from US EXIM Bank, President Ali tells private sector. And Health Minister urges vaccination as COVID-19 cases on the rise. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that some 100 teachers across the country will be benefiting from duty-free concessions in the coming days. This was announced by Education Minister Priya Manikchan earlier today. Additionally, she disclosed that teachers wanting to pursue higher qualifications would benefit from scholarships to the University of Guyana. Let's have a look.
Several teachers are going to receive their duty-free concessions. How many? 100 teachers will receive duty-free concessions where they can buy vehicles duty-free. And several teachers are going to receive scholarships to be able to go to the University of Guyana.
For the first time in education history, Cyril Potter College of Education students who are employed in the system will be earning an in-service salary instead of a stipend commencing from January 2023. Rupa Sinrai joins us with the details.
This introduction of wages was announced by Education Minister Priya Manikchan on Friday as she commissioned a new CPCE facility at Friedenhoop on the west coast of Demerara. The college currently has about 2,600 first-year students, a result of going fully online in 2021 and increased reach across its regional centers.
From January of next year, we're going to make sure that every teacher, even as you teach, you are receiving a teacher as a salary even as you train, you are receiving a salary as an in-service teacher from January of next year, every single one of you. We're giving you a place to come and be the best you can be by learning and making yourself developed. We're giving you a salary as you do that, something that has never been done before with all the teachers in the system. And we're trying to make sure you get the best quality education.
Meanwhile, Chief Education Officer Dr. Marcel Hudson underscored that this trajectory and input into education should not cease. Now more than ever, he said persons are needed in the classroom who can inspire and contribute to the vision of having a world-class education system.
Every child is born gifted, Bill Hendricks said. Every child is born gifted. So we have to know what to do to really draw out what is inside of them. Education, the Latin word educa, means to draw out. So it means that people have things inside of them. It is what you do in the classroom is fundamental to whether that child will be successful or not. So you should have high expectations of your children as they come in front of you. And I want to say that the Ministry of Education is treating with this matter very seriously.
Blended modalities, larger physical spaces, and online mechanisms became an integral necessity, having seen an influx of persons gaining admission at the institution after moving online. The Regency Center of CPCE was established in 1996 for in-service teachers only. Today, over 300 persons are registered at the institution. Through this expansion, students can do any discipline that the Turkine campus is offering. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
President Dr. Irfan Ali on Thursday evening announced an 8% salary increase for all public servants as his administration continues to implement measures to improve the lives of all Guyanese. In this Vanu Manikchan report, you will hear that permanent salaries of public healthcare workers and members of the discipline services are being reviewed. Let's have a look.
President Dr. Irfan Ali made this announcement in a live broadcast, during which he explained that this salary increase for public servants will be retroactive to January 2022.
My government continues to value highly the hard work that government employees do every day in delivering services to the people of Guyana. In this regard, I now wish to announce that my government will be paying an across-the-board increase of 8% to public servants, teachers, members of the disciplined services, constitutional office holders, as well as government pensioners. This increase will be granted retroactively to 1st of January 2022.
According to the head of state, work will commence immediately to ensure that this increase is processed and paid to eligible employees together with their December salary. In addition, the president also indicated that further announcements will be made next week regarding specific categories of public sector employees.
I've instructed that options be identified for adjustment to the salaries paid to a number of specific categories of public sector employees. These include, in the first phase, ranks of the police force, prison service, and fire service. Additionally, a similar exercise is currently being conducted and recommendation being made in relation to specific categories of employees in our public healthcare system, including nurses, interns, doctors, and other healthcare professionals. In relation to these categories of employees, I'm planning to make a more detailed announcement during the course of next week.
This salary increase is in line with commitments made by the PPPC government in Budget 2022 and followed a 7% increase to public servants last year. President Ali noted that this, coupled with other measures implemented by his administration, including removal of punitive taxes on utilities, restoration of cash grants to school children, and the increase of old age pension as well as public assistance since assuming office in August 2020, highlight its commitment to improving the disposable incomes to public sector employees and Guyanese at large.
My government remains resolutely committed to ensuring that the lives of all Guyanese are improved steadily and in a tangible and demonstrable manner as we work towards realizing national prosperity for the benefit of all Guyanese.
Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
Meanwhile, the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union and the Berbice Bridge Company, Inc. have concluded negotiations for 2022 and have agreed that workers of the bridge company would be paid salary increases ranging between 9% and 50% retroactive to January the 1st, 2022. Additionally, the parties have agreed to revise the salary scales. This would see the workers earning below the new scales being brought up to the new minimum of the scale, thus receiving an excess of 15% pay increase. Apart from wages, GAWU and the BBCI have agreed that all allowances would be increased by 9% across the board. Moreover, arrangements regarding the scheduling of staff engaged in the retraction of the bridge on weekends and holidays have also been clarified and addressed. The issue of year-end bonus also received attention during the negotiations. GAWU has said it is pleased with the agreement reaching during the discussions, which were cordial, respectful, and frank, and assisted in the reaching of a speedy conclusion. We now tell you that the Guyana government is preparing a portfolio of public sector projects to be financed by the United States Export-Import Bank and is calling on the local private sector to prepare to take advantage of these opportunities for major collaboration. Details in this Lawana McAllister report.
A high-level delegation from the U.S. EXIM Bank is currently in Guyana to enlighten local stakeholders on the opportunities available at the bank for them to tap into. During a stakeholder engagement on Thursday, President Dr. Irfan Ali disclosed that government would be proposing a number of public sector initiatives for U.S. EXIM Bank financing.
So I'm looking forward to seeing meaningful outcome from these meetings. I know the government has already put together portfolio of projects that we are looking to have EXIM involvement in. And those discussions will have started, and I would not want to believe that we are moving at a more rapid pace in the private sector.
The head of state urged local businesses to ensure they put together their proposals and submit them to the U.S. EXIM Bank before the visit of the bank's president, which is slated for early next year.
So we want proposals to get in there before the chair of EXIM comes here, so that we can find some strategic alliance and strategic areas in which we can have great cooperation in pushing some initiatives forward. So we have to be in a state of readiness. We have to be in a position to make use of the opportunities that EXIM is providing.
This visit by the U.S. EXIM Bank officials follows the signing of a U.S. $2 billion memorandum of understanding between the Guyana government and the bank back in July to finance infrastructure, energy, telecommunications, water, treatment and sanitation, and agriculture projects here. U.S. EXIM Bank Senior Vice President Small Businesses Tamara Maxwell outlined the institution's seriousness in business collaboration with Guyana and mentioned the need for a Guyana team at the bank.
We need to create a Guyana team at EXIM Bank simply because we saw all of the opportunity, and we've met with a lot of businesses who we know is going to be calling on EXIM Bank just on the last couple of days that we've been here. So we have decided to create a team that is only going to handle Guyana authorizations, applications, so that you're not waiting for anyone to call you back. You have a complete understanding and that they're committed to making sure that the transactions coming from Guyana are not missed and that everything is looked at.
Reporting for the Evening News, LaWanda McAllister.
Coming up on the other side of the break, child forced out of school after alleged being beaten by a teacher. Please stay tuned.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Our virtual Chick Chick game today and get a chance to win big. With over 450 draws, 3 dices, and 52 bet types to choose from. You can also be a winner with Superbet. Visit www.superbet.gy or any one of our agents closest to you. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 years and over.
Ocho. 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 Organic Ocho candy. What's inside counts.
Guy Oil is 100% Guyanese owned and operated. With more than 43 years of service, our company is recognized as a market leader in high-quality petroleum products and is Guyana's largest fuel distributor. Guy Oil is strategically located in all 3 counties with terminals and fully operational wharfing facilities at Providence, East Bank Demerara, Heathburn, Berbice, and Adventure Essequibo. These facilities allow for convenient ship-to-ship transfer of fuel to vessels of various sizes. Choose Guy Oil for your bulk fuel supply and you will benefit from convenient delivery via our extensive fleet of RTWs, volume discounts, and complimentary tanking facilities. Guy Oil is owned by the Government of Guyana and all profits are used in Guyana for the benefit of Guyanese. Choose Guy Oil for all your fuel needs. Guy Oil, excellence in service.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The Board of Governors of Queen's College is probing an incident in which it is alleged that the High Court Judge Navendra Singh was aggressive towards the school's deputy principal over the way an altercation between his daughter and another student of the school was handled. Today, Education Minister Prem Manikchand said the parent will be given a chance to have his side heard. Here is Rupasin Ryan once more with the details.
The school's acting principal, Candace Cave Stephen, wrote in a letter to the Assistant Chief Education Officer Secondary, Tiffany Harvey, that on October 27th, there was an incident between a male and a female student, both of whom are in grade 8. However, it escalated and resulted in the students hitting each other. According to Cave Stephen, she instructed both students to apologize to each other and cautioned them not to repeat that kind of behavior. However, a few minutes later, the acting principal recalled that she received a phone call from Justice Singh, who later showed up to the school and indicated his dissatisfaction with the way the matter involving his daughter was resolved. The situation unfolded with the deputy principal acting, Linese Parker, accusing Singh and 2 police officers who accompanied him to the school of attempted assault. During the sidelines of an event on Friday, the education minister said the matter is being dealt with at the level of the Queen's College Board.
The Queen's College matter, the parent was given an opportunity to be heard, which is the only way to go to be able to accord him his human and natural rights if there's an allegation against him. I believe he was given a chance to put his position, answer the allegations against him. And there's a timeline, but that is not expired yet.
Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Andrew Carmichael joins us now to report that a 3-year-old child has not been attending school for almost 2 weeks and is now being forced to relocate. This is after the little girl alleged that she and her friends were beaten by a teacher, resulting in officials of the Anchorville Nursery School refusing to allow her back at the public institution. Let's have a look.
This is the school that the 3-year-old child attends, the Anchorville Primary School. The child had not been in school since last week, Tuesday. Reports are that the child was home with her parent playing, and the child said, "Mommy, I don't like my teacher." The parent inquired why. The child said, "Because my teacher lashed me and she lashed my friend." This is a parent that does not beat her children. When the parent brought the child to this very school here the following day, normally that's the child who would be rushing to get into school and all excited. But that day the child was crying and didn't want to get into the school. The parents still took the child into school, and when the child saw the teacher, the child started running out. The parent then alerted the head teacher of what the child said transpired, but the head teacher reportedly said, "Not that teacher. If anyone, not that teacher. That teacher doesn't beat the children." Well, not satisfied with the response that she got from the school, she went to the Department of Education in New Amsterdam. And the department got involved. They came to the school here. They had a confrontation with the child and the parent and the teacher. But in the absence of the teacher, the child also kept her story, saying that the teacher did hit her and hit her friends. The following day, well, what the department did was say that the child will go to another teacher's class. The following day, when the parent brought the child to school, she was allegedly greeted by the head teacher, who said, "Yesterday we had a meeting with the staff here and we decided we don't want that child at this school. So I'm going to give you a transfer letter so the child can be transferred and go to another school." The parent again went to the Department of Education in New Amsterdam, and the department said, "Well, we have to investigate that." She is waiting, the parent is waiting since last Tuesday, the last time the child was in school, until now for that investigation. The child has been home since then. But there have been increasing reports of abuse by teachers in this region perpetrated on children. The Regional Education Committee has not been saying anything about this, nor did the department, and not much comes out of the Department of Education here in Region 6. One instance on the east bank of Berbice, where quite recently a child from Friends Primary School reported to the parent that the teacher lashed her and her friend with a ruler. The parent showed this newscast pictures of the child's arm with at least 2 marks on it. When the teacher reported this to the head teacher, the head teacher reportedly said, "Well, you have to come to the school so I can make an entry of what you're telling me." Not satisfied, the parent contacted a regional official who got onto the Department of Education, and the matter was handled there. The teacher maintained that she did not hit the child, eventually broke down and said, yes, she did hit the child, but it was only one latch, while there were 2 marks on the child's skin. Getting information from the regional education department is a nightmare. This newscast has almost not been able to get any information from the regional education department from outside of the Yankerville Nursery School at Port Mount and the quarantine. For the Evening News, Andy Carmichael.
In recent days, there has been an increase in the number of positive COVID-19 cases detected. Consequently, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has reiterated calls for citizens to get vaccinated ahead of the Christmas holidays. More from LaWanda McAllister.
On Friday, during his COVID-19 press briefing, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said that after weeks of declining COVID cases, there is now a rise in the numbers. As such, he is strongly recommending people to continue wearing face coverings in public settings despite the mandate being lifted.
But as you can see, over the last 2 to 3 days, we have had increase in cases, and right now, because we are tracking 71 cases, this is a major increase from over the last 3 days. We have also seen increases in the hospital from 0 to now having 6 persons in hospital. And of the 6 that are in hospital, we have 3 persons in the ICU, with one of those persons being intubated.
Dr. Anthony explained that if persons do not take necessary precautions to protect themselves, then these numbers will continue to climb. In this light, the minister urged persons to get vaccinated and boosted ahead of the holiday season, as well as to follow guidelines, including frequent hand washing and staying away from those who are sick.
COVID is not over. I know a lot of people would want to think so, but we are now having increase in cases despite low levels of testing, and we are seeing a number of those persons having severe infection that warrants hospitalization, and in some cases it's so serious that they're going into the ICU. Now, one way of dealing with this is that we need to get people to come out and get their booster doses.
According to Dr. Anthony, his ministry is also seeing a decrease in vaccinations, and if persons are not vaccinated, then they will be vulnerable to COVID.
Again, I want to make an appeal to everyone. Make sure that your vaccines are up to date, that you have gotten your booster shots, because there seems to be a new wave that is coming, and we're seeing the beginning of that wave.
LaWanda McAllister, The Evening News.
A joint operation by ranks of the Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Defense Forces Coast Guard on Thursday led to the discovery of 17 acres of ganja with approximately 27,000 cannabis plants ranging from 2 to 6 feet in height. Region 6 Police Commander Senior Superintendent Shiv Prasad Bacchus has said that acting on information received, ranks went to the developed village Savannah along the Berbice River, where they destroyed the cannabis sativa plants, 3 makeshift camps, 1 trailer, and 2 plows. The value of the cannabis sativa destroyed has been estimated at $340.1 million. Only last month, during a similar operation at Develd, another $489 million worth of marijuana was also destroyed by police, who also discovered 2 shotguns. A 37-year-old farmer of Stewartville, West Coast, Demerara, who was attending to the cannabis plants, was arrested and later placed before the courts. Government will be putting systems in place to address instances in which persons are showing up with Guyanese citizenship and taking advantage of the local content opportunities, a situation which Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat has labeled as acting in bad faith. Rupa Sirai has the details.
Comments from the Natural Resources Minister came in light of a court battle with Ramps Logistics Guyana, in which government was ordered to issue a local content certificate to the company. The company, whose parent company is Trinidadian, had initially applied for certification in April, but that application was refused on June 8 after it reportedly failed to meet the requirements of the Local Content Act 2021. However, the company had said Limited divested 51% ownership of its Guyana operations to Trinidadian-based investor Deepak Lal, who had Guyanese parentage, to bring its operation in compliance with the local content laws. Finding that the company had indeed met the requirements for being a Guyanese company, the Chief Justice on Friday ordered that the company be issued the certificate. Minister Vikram Bharat explained that as a law-abiding government, the certificate was issued but not without apprehensions.
We issue the certificate because we are law-abiding and we respect the rule of law. However, there are reservations by the government and there are concerns by the government that people cannot show up or fall out the sky or appear after 70, 80 years or whatever the case is and say, oh, I'm Guyanese to the bone. It can't work like that. It can't work like that.
He added that they expected companies to act in good faith and not take advantage of the opportunities that were set aside for Guyanese. However, Minister Bharat said such matters will be addressed as they arise.
We expected people to act in good faith too. We expected companies to act in good faith too. And not to resurrect people who were not born, but somebody was born, and then apply for a Guyana passport and claim that you're Guyanese 100% to the bone. So we expected some amount of professionalism, we expected maturity, and we expected that companies would have acted in good faith. And obviously they didn't. We saw what played out, and we're going to ensure that there are systems in place to ensure that we deal with these matters as they arise. As they arise. Because we can't have people holding a Guyana passport will never pay a dollar tax in this country to develop it where it is today.
Moreover, the minister added that government has put forward an open-door policy for investors since there are many opportunities in the country for parties to benefit from.
We haven't locked any foreign company out of Guyana. Some of them may run around, crying, run to the courts, saying that the government is unfair. We are not unfair. Anyone who knows the oil and gas sector know that there are maybe hundreds or thousands of services that are necessary to service the oil and gas sector. There are thousands of services that are needed out there. And we only identify 40 and say that reserve this for Guyanese, and not even 100%.
The Education Ministry's Unit for the Blind and Visually Impaired had earlier this week hosted the inaugural National Blind Education Conference, which focused on the current approach to blind education and developing new directions for the future. Luanda McAllister tells us more.
Delivering the keynote address at the inaugural National Blind Education Conference, Chief Education Officer Dr. Marcel Hodson reflected on the progress the country has made when it comes to the rights of visually impaired individuals.
There was a time if you had a visual impairment, you had to stay at home, and whatever became of you became of you. And if we want to be true to what has happened so far, we will recognize that there is or has been a significant change in this country with regards to that previous position.
In this regard, he posited that there is a significant role for blind and visually impaired persons in society.
We believe that persons who are visually impaired, they are able to make an impact to the development of this country. So no one must be looked down upon because of whatever disability they may have.
Meanwhile, Program Manager of Guyana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disability, Ganesh Singh, called for more to be done to ensure every visually impaired child is better integrated in the classroom across Guyana.
We've had our successes, but at the same time we've had major challenges in delivering education for children with disabilities. Currently, the Ministry of Education approach is one that is in line with the modern way of thinking towards blind education, and that's a start. Be at the level of the Guyana Council of Organizations of Persons with Disabilities, but as an individual who advocates for blind education in Guyana, I would like to see more done across all the administrative regions to ensure that every child who is blind or visually impaired can be integrated and supported in the mainstream classroom. It will take time, and we know that, and with the Ministry of Education allocating more resources towards special education, I'm sure we'll achieve that in the not too distant future.
The Education Ministry has developed a special needs policy which ties into the Education Strategy Plan 2021 to 2025 Vision 2030 and addresses the needs of the blind and visually impaired. Luana McAllister, The Evening News.
We will now take a look at the bridge reports.
The Damarara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, November 19th at 1 hour for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbridge River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, November 19th at 13 hours 20 for a period of 1.5 hours.
And now the local stock exchange market, compliments of Gassy. Guyana knocked out of Super 50 by Jamaica. This and more coming up in the Sportscast, sponsored by Maccord.
This Christmas, guess what? You're guaranteed to save big right at National Hardware Limited. Shopping for Christmas trees? We've got all sizes from the traditional to the ones with a modern twist. Garlands, wreaths, lights, and Christmas inflatables are what you need to bring that Christmas cheer. Out with the old and in with the new. We've got curtains, carpets, and so much more to spruce up your home for the holidays. Save time too, and get presents for both boys and girls, whether big or small. National Hardware has you covered, in more ways than one this holiday season. Check out our superstore at 13 to 14 Industrial Site, Rumvelt. Telephone number 231-1091-95. Or downtown at 17 to 19A Water Street. Telephone number 227-1961.
It's November already and soon it will be Christmas. So we at John Lewis Styles are giving away one Amazon Echo show every week in November and every day in December. Stream music and videos, make video calls and control smart devices, alarms, reminders and lots more. Every $5,000 spent gives you a chance to win when you shop for clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage and accessories. So visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Poultry farmers, save money by cutting down the time it takes to pluck your chickens with the plucking machine from Sylvie's. Now available at affordable prices in 3 sizes: 500, 550 and 600 mm, 110 220 volts, 60 cycles, 1450 RPM. Replacement motors and the plucking fingers are also readily available right now at Sylvie's Variety Store, High and Hatfield Streets, Georgetown.
Guy Oil is 100% Guyanese owned and operated. With more than 43 years of service, our company is recognized as a market leader in high-quality petroleum products and is Guyana's largest fuel distributor. Guy Oil is strategically located in all 3 counties with terminals and fully operational wharfing facilities at Providence, East Bank Demerara, Heathburn, Berbice, and Adventure Essequibo. These facilities allow for convenient ship-to-ship transfer of fuel to vessels of various sizes. Choose Guy Oil for your bulk fuel supply and you will benefit from convenient delivery via our extensive fleet of RTWs, volume discounts and complimentary tanking facilities. Guy Oil is owned by the Government of Guyana, and all profits are used in Guyana for the benefit of Guyanese. Choose Guy Oil for all your fuel needs. Guy Oil, excellence in service.